So, Alexander Volkanovski versus Ilia Topuria is official for UFC 298. It was just announced today. The fight is scheduled for February 17th of next year. And I gotta say, man, I am worried for Alexander Volkanovski. And I'm going to tell you guys exactly why. Of course, Volkanovski just got done fighting Islam Makhachev. That fight happened on October 21st of this year. He got KO'd. He got knocked out by Islam Makhachev. And again, that was a fight that he took on very short notice. When he came into the fight, even though Volkanovski is a world-class fighter, someone that stays in fairly decent shape, you could definitely tell that he wasn't in the best shape possible, right? And Islam Makhachev is probably not the sort of fighter you want to go in there on short notice against. So the fight plays out the way that it plays out. He gets KO'd. We really didn't expect to see him get knocked out. A lot of us thought he was going to lose the fight, maybe similar to the way he lost the first one. But man, watching him get KO'd, definitely concussed. And now he's scheduled to fight Ilia Topuria. Ilia Topuria, a man who hasn't fought since June of this year. So he's had a very, very long time to recuperate, rest his body. Now, you could say that's not a good thing, right? You could say it's possible that it's better to be active versus, you know, taking that time off. Or you could also say he's given himself a long time to train for Alexander Volkanovski, to get ready for this man, to rest his body, to just recoup, right? Meanwhile, Volkanovski is turning around, not on short notice for sure, but like 4 months after getting knocked out by Islam Makhachev on a fight he already took on short notice, considering the fact that he has already had like 3 fights this year already, right? You go and take a look. Volkanovski this year, he fought Islam Makhachev in February. Then in July, he fought Yair Rodriguez, TKO'd him. And then in October, he fought Islam Makhachev. The man is busy. He's a very busy champion. But all of this together is not the main reason, of course, why I'm saying that I'm worried about him. After his fight with Islam Makhachev during the UFC 294 post-fight press conference, he opened up. He really opened up. He was honest about the fact that he's having some mental issues with not fighting. He refers to it as it does his head in. When he's not busy, when he's not active, you know, he keeps asking the UFC to keep him busy, because when he's not active, when he's not busy, it does his head in. That's the way he says it.
Obviously, I was struggling a little bit not fighting, doing my head in. I don't know how. Everything's fine. I've got a beautiful family.
And this is something that we've seen fighters say over and over and over and over again. Dominic Cruz, I remember Dominic Cruz when Dominic got injured for the, I don't know, 100th time, and he had to let go of the belt. One of the things that Dominic Cruz was saying over and over again was that losing the belt made him realize that he was way more than just a UFC champion. That's not his whole entire identity. That his personality, who he is so much more than that, right? Someone like Israel, for example, is taking a significant amount of time off, and an indefinite amount of time off. We don't know how long he's going to be gone. And he said he's doing that for his own mental state, to just recover, to focus on something else besides fighting. And this is an aspect of fighting that we really don't pay a lot of attention to. You know, we all pay attention to the physical aspects of it. We love seeing these guys perform. But man, a lot of these champions, man, the fighting becomes who they are as opposed to what they do. And so when they're not fighting, it's almost like, okay, who am I? Who am I? Right? It becomes their personality. And I'm not a freaking psychologist or whatever, so I'm not trying to sit here and diagnose Alexander Volkanovski, but we've seen something like this happen multiple times. And I think we all can say that we've had some sort of experience with something like this, where the thing you do suddenly becomes who you are. And when you're not doing the thing you do, you almost feel like your life is wasting away, right? Like he keeps talking about how he doesn't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. And it's like, okay, time in what sense? Like, are you saying you're getting older? You've not achieved everything you want to achieve? Or is it that you feel like you're just wasting away your potential? And he's not. He has achieved so much as a champion, as a featherweight champion. So it really makes me worry for him. Like, what is this man's state of mind going to be entering this fight against Ilia Topuria? Like, Topuria, just like Islam Makhachev, is really not the sort of person you want to enter a fight with when you're not completely clear-minded. Okay, now, if there's anybody that can get it done, even when they have all kinds of trials and tribulation, it is Alexander Volkanovski. The man is a special human being. He's a special fighter. There's no doubt about that. But are we about to start watching this dude decline right now? From getting KO'd stiff by Islam Makhachev, and now he's about to face another extremely powerful and well-rounded fighter. Like, Ilia Topuria is not just a powerful striker. The man has it all. He has all you need to defeat Alexander Volkanovski. Do I think he'll do it? Personally, I'm not only rooting for Volkanovski, but I will pick him to win the fight. But that doesn't mean that as I think about it, I'm like, man, I don't know if this is enough time for Volkanovski, right? Enough time to not only recover fully from the knockout that he had against Islam. And look, maybe it is. Maybe it is. But maybe it's also not. You see what I'm saying? Is it enough time for him to fully recover from that? And two, enough time to put this fighting thing in the right perspective, right? Because in that interview he did, man, he admitted, like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's wrong with me. I have a beautiful family. I have a beautiful life. I've accomplished so much. So why does this mean so much to me? Like, why do I feel like I gotta be fighting somebody? Why do I gotta be fighting somebody for me to be mentally healthy, right? And it's when you sit there and you think about it, man, it's sad. Fighting, like, it's out of everything else this man has in his life, like his family, his friends, his accomplishments, all of that. It's like fighting should be, like, if we were to put it in perspective, it should be the last thing that even affects him negatively in that sense. And yet, when he's not busy, he doesn't feel like he's doing what he was put on this planet to do. And that is, it's not easy for a man to deal with, bro. That is hard for a man to deal with, when you feel like, dude, I am not doing what I was put on this planet to do. Even when you have a beautiful family and when you've accomplished so much. So it has me worried for him. I really hope that he's seeing somebody. He was really trying to be stoic, you know. It's what men do. He was trying to be stoic and not cry and not be emotional during the interview. But you can see that, man, this is something this man genuinely struggles with. Like, when he's alone, right, there's no one else there. It's just something that freaking eats at him and just crushes him. And he's trying to deal with this by himself. And I'm hoping he no longer is. I'm hoping that he's got people in his life that have looked at him, you know, his teammates, his coaches, his training partners, his family. They've looked at him and they're like, okay, look, you're a stoic, you're a man, you're a real man, all that stuff. But bro, like, you gotta talk to somebody to try to figure out what's going on here, because this can become self-destructive. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe you guys can let me know what you think about it. He has a legacy right now that I think will benefit from some time off, in my opinion, which is why I'm happy that Israel is doing that, because nothing rejuvenates you more than just taking some time off, man. You take some time off, you distance yourself from the sport, you don't even do anything MMA related, you just go and focus on, I'd say, more important things. You know what I mean? More important things in life. You go and focus on actually living life. Because at this point, it's not about the money for him. It's not like Volkanovski is grinding to, like, you know, provide for his family. I'm sure the man is already good. So there's something else there underneath that's not being addressed that I really hope he can figure out a way to address, or find someone to help him address it, so that this man does not fall into a pit of despair. You know what I mean? Especially if he goes out there and loses. If he goes out there and he loses to Ilia Topuria, what's going to happen is the same thing that happens to you. You know it does. When you play UFC and you get KO'd or you get knocked out, what do you want to do? Immediately you want to get back again. You want to go fight again. You get knocked out in ranked, and I'm like, fuck that. I want to go fight again. I want to try to redeem. I can't go to sleep on an L. It's the same thing that happens to fighters. They lose and then they gotta go again and again and again and again and again. But you know, the really, really smart ones understand that, bro, the best way to get back to form is to freaking walk away for a little bit. Look at what GSP did, what Israel is doing right now. And when these guys come back, when they come back, they're usually so much better. So much better. So I'm not saying Volkanovski should freaking disappear, but I think a little bit of more time off, I think, will really benefit him. But you guys let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. Am I the only one that's worried for him in this fight? Am I the only one that kind of sees him losing this one? Am I the only one? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys later with a brand new one. As always, stay safe. Peace out. Have a good night.